morning, good afternoon, and good evening to my fellow Chingus. Welcome to the 20th episode of Chimaek Hangout, where we discover and discuss fresh K-pop goodness from music to news, and sometimes the culture of Korea. This show is recorded on the 16th of September 2020. You are with me, Zaito, on this special day once more for a special podcast with me. Before I forget, do check out Chimaek Hangout on Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and possible your other favorite podcast platform as well. So, welcome back guys to the 20th episode of Chimaek Hangout podcast. Hope everyone is doing well. And before we go into our news and everything else, let's see what we have for today. Today we have Stray Kids with Backdoor, Moonbin and SanHa with Bad Idea, and lastly 4Miss9 Feel Good Secret Code. And for our main dish topic, we have Mama 2020. Secondly, an unexpected collaboration. And lastly, an heartwarming advice from an idol. So what do we have for today? So talking about last week's podcast, we have Yuwa from Oh My Girls. And guess what? She actually won her first ever solo win with Bon Voyage. Wow! Well done to that, well done. I did not expect that, but at the same time, I have some high expectations for it to happen, but I did not expect it happening so fast. And from where she actually won her first win is actually from the show. So, well, I think some of you guys may know that the show may have a little bit lower calculation with so-called point system, but having to win a show is well done to say. Alright, so with that, let's move on to our first group, which is Stray Kids Backdoor. But before that, as usual, a little bit about who they are. Stray Kids debuted on 2017 under JYP Entertainment with their previous song God's Menu. Unfortunately, did not win any music show. However, they won multiple awards such as Best Rookie, Rising Hot Star, to name a few for 2019 and 2020. So, as a continuation to their God's Menu, they have another song called Backdoor. This song is basically composed by their own producing unit, Three Racha, which is Banchan, Changbin, and Hans. And not to forget, Hot Sauce as well. So Backdoor, what is it all about? All I can say, it is an explosive and fun song that leave a strong impact to us who are the listeners. What is it all about? If you guys haven't listened to, do listen to the song after you hear what I have to say about this. Because for this song, I can say it is fun. But as usual, there are pros and cons on my opinions. So let's see what we have inside here, alright? In music wise, the song sounds so good with the funky bass guitar, with blend of hip hop, EDM, and pop. To be honest, this song can be categorized as generic boy group songs if you are listening as a normal K-pop fan. But I must admit, it has its own charm to it. The charm cannot be denied. That's what makes it a little bit different from others, for me that is. And this song itself, if I need to say, if we ignore the line distribution in the singing, I will say each member's part fit their voice so perfectly. It brings out the color and the playfulness of the song, because as you guys know from the song, it's called Backdoor. So it must be something a little bit, shouldn't I say moral wise, it should be something much more playful, something much more fun to it. What we are talking about in this, I'll say with the lyrics. The lyrics itself, like I mentioned, it was written by the Three Rachas. As well, in simple words of the lyrics, it is inviting the listeners to join their party through the back door. So, when we talk about this, a simple song with the invitation to a party to enjoy and go wild as you can. Let's go wild as you can. But let me clarify some terms used in these lyrics of the song. Just in case some of you do not understand or you are the same as me who look into this so-called lyrics theory, I guess. So for these two lines I have here, it's okay since it's not a sitcom. The sound that I'm hearing is a fanfare. So these two words, sitcom and fanfare, what does it mean and what can it mean when you put together these two lines? This part most probably is referring to basically this is not a security company, which is sitcom is coming from. And you can hear brace being played in a flourishing way. That's what it means by fanfare. So why I'm saying this is basically saying that this is not a security company. There shouldn't be any bodyguards. So you can come in through the back door and you should be listening to those party songs. In a way, I will put it in those words. Basically, now that this is clear, moving on, the boys are talking to you that this is your only chance. You have to use the back door, as usually it is for authorized person, which also kind of refer to like concerts and fan signs as well as fan meetings. This is one of the part I love so much in regards to this song. They're inviting fans, they're inviting whoever, you are K-pop fans as long as to join them for this party from the back door. The last part I love so much in the lyrics is because it's mentioning that join us from the back door. Usually it's not authorized for you to enter, but for now, yes, since this is not a security company, it's not full of security, you can hear that we're partying, we're having fun. Yeah, join us. So the party can be referred to as concert, fan signs, or fan meeting. Imagine that in real life. I can pretty much just go. Oops, I think that's the wrong one. It should be this one. Yes, that's the correct one. Yeah, so that's the feeling I'm having now. And moving forward into the MV, I can say the MV is a well-edited MV. Love the transition so much, I really can't get bored of it. It was done so well that I can say JYP and the editing team, you have done a very, very good job on this. I also realized that Rima from NiziU, which is the youngest girl group, I think Japanese girl group in JYP, also appeared on the MV. I'm not so sure if the other girl with her in the MV is also from the group, but for now I only realized Rima is in there. And if we move on into the MV itself, I can see that as a reference to arts, reference to the touch, or better known as the creation of atoms, if you refer to painting that is. That was one of the nice part. If you know which one I'm referring to, well, you can maybe screenshot and show me in the description. Oh, sorry, I mean in the comments. You can show me in the comments. I would like to see whether you get it or not. And to put it in other words, the MV shows the theme of party, but at the same time, it shows the charm in their choreography. That's the main point. The choreography itself is so good. It shows almost everywhere in the MV and it shows the formation. I love the formation so much in the songs. It was done so well and it fits very well with the song and with the singing as well. So if you guys haven't listened to it, give it a chance. Listen to it. Moving on to the next song will be Moonbin and SanHa, which is a subunit from Astro. And Astro itself debuted on 2016 as a boy group. As I mentioned, Astro Anta Fantasia. Their first music show win for their previous song is Knock. And they are also able to pick on the first place for Gaio chart for their previous song. And not to forget, for the year 2020, a few awards they have won is actually Best Male Performance, Global Artist, as well as a Bongsan Award, to name a few of it. Alright, so moving on to the song Bad Idea, which is a very, very bad idea. This song can say I have a lot of opinion on this song, but to summarize on this song itself, let's get into the melody and the lyrics itself. For the melody and singing style for this song, I would say it's simple, but it also retain the charm of the lyrics, driven by a generous dose of rhythm of guitar that keeps the track moving at a clip. It's quite similar to Stray Kids' Comeback that was also released at the same time, but the production makes good use of bass. I would like to say, this does not stop here at all. The instrumental has a very refreshing fullness to it. Basically, if I need to put in other things, it has something like a filter that gives the final product a retro shine to it. A very, very nice touch to it. This song, for me, I don't really like to listen to this kind of song, but I can explain it this well if you're surprised, is because the song itself shows everything. If you do not like the song, you will not like the song. If you like the song, you like it very, very much. That is the kind of song that I can explain based on this. It's simple, but it focuses on the instrumental as well as the rhythm of the song to make it very, very perfect. Where I will move on to the lyrics, it expresses the urge to escape from bad memories. This is the main term for the whole lyrics. But at the same time, it is hard to do so as there are obstacles like mental thinking, basically the mental issues which I can find along the way based on the lyrics. The first one, exit that can't be reached even if I reach out. I think I'm lost. Another verse, it fades little by little. Like fade out, I don't think I can escape. Whether it's awake or a dream, I don't seem to know anymore. These two parts shows these lyrics is pretty much obstacles. In better words, it can represent something like a breakdown on a beginning of a depression, where you may get lost in your thinking, or maybe this happened due to something. If easiest way, maybe a breakup or something triggers you to have this kind of mental thinking. A lot of things can happen. I have no idea which one, but yeah, these are the lyrics to that. And for me, this is kind of dark in some ways. And to move on with the talking of dark, the MV itself, before I say everything else, it is a dark MV which is well shot, and it turns the lyrics into a nice storyline. This is one of the MV for today that have a storyline. So in the beginning, it shows duality of your mentality. One side want to escape and the other want to stay and protect your mind from going anywhere. From here, I may as well as point out that the bold hidden meaning of depression is shown so well. It's like a punch on your face where it is hidden somewhere and suddenly BAM! You're hit on there. That's how bad this MV is showing me depression on it. This can especially be seen where it shows multiple rooms, multiple doors, and getting targeted by lasers from guns, or hurt when trying to escape, where basically our characters, our idols have a lot of injuries. Those kinds are actually showing some of the points or stages when you have depressions. Lastly, although you may have escaped, that memories or mentality will remain at bay. at the back of your head and waiting for you to jump into the rabbit hole again so you can return to those depression once more. This is just a freaking stupid way of me explaining, but at the same time, this is also very, very scary. So to any one of you out there, and with a recent some of the news I've seen, some artists have actually committed suicide. So we are not going to jump much into that, but I'd just like to bring up a little bit. If you ever have this kind of thinking, do remember, seek help. If not, just look for someone you trust to talk to. I know it's hard. I know that sometimes being alone is the best when you have this kind of feeling. But at the same time, you must remember, this is a bad idea. Like how this Moonbin and SanHa has said. It is a bad idea to always be alone, because you never know when your depression is going to turn into two-sided personalities and you start the fight to escape, but you can't do it. This is pretty much what the song is all about. So in the case that you have this kind of mentality, do remember, seek for help or find someone you trust, talk to. At least that much will keep you at bay from going crazy. Alright, so with that, we will end our first part of podcast here, and we'll be right back after this short break. So let's go!
Hello guys, like what you're listening to? Please do follow us on our Facebook, Twitter and Instagram page. Links on the description, and let's move on to part 2.
Welcome back to Chimaek Hangout episode 20 part 2. And now we are going back to our Sizzling Versus with 4Miss9, which debuted on 2018 under Stone Music Entertainment, owned by CJ E&M. And so far for this group, they haven't won any music show wins, especially for their previous song, Fun. So let's move on to their new comeback, Feel Good Secret Code, which is the title track of their third mini album, My Little Society. And for this song, I would like to just say it is kind of daring of me to actually do basically an opinion on this song, where it is just released, well, few hours before this recording. Why I dare to do this? Let's see what I have, alright? The music feels like a retro K-pop with a twist of drums, heavy bass, as well as EDM, which is very catchy, and it's about feeling in the best mood with someone by your side. So that's where the feel goods come from, and that's where the secret code is. What is this all about? What is this lyrics all about? What's the music all about? To put in simple words, it is just simple as being in the best mood with someone by your side. And you may be asking, who is this someone? It can be a friend, it can be a significant other, or even you fans out there who are a fan of 4Miss9. The focus of the lyrics is, as I mentioned, inviting someone to feel good with them, like basically on a stream, on a secret account, or basically playing around on a video recording, as well as going to a party. But at the end, the main focus of the song is to show you a different side of them. In just one line in the lyrics that actually catch my attention: let me help you meet a different me. Let me help you meet a little different me. It's a little bit different, but you will see a lot of difference to it. So this is one of the part where, as I mentioned, the main focus of the song actually is. But on the overall, they are showing you how to do it. In there, they have mentioned that this is like my secret account, bring you into their secret account, or basically you're feeling so good, feeling dizzy, feeling giddy, feeling so good, feeling like you're on the rainbow, light steps, and not to forget, always think of feeling good as a good emergency exit and as well as a paradise. Having fun day and night. That is how you want to be with the other person that you may want to invite to a party or so-called wise, to have this kind of thing to show you maybe a different you. And this as well, I may as well just add in this significant other or this other person that you may invite, maybe someone you have a crush on. Wing wing. You may know what I'm saying, right? So, feeling good can be described in multiple ways, but this is a very positive song compared to our previous song that we talked about, Bad Idea. It's a really bad idea talking about that song. Ay ay ay. Anyway, moving into the MV, the concept of the MV can be viewed as an entertainment central station. Why I'm saying this is showing on SNS, which is social network system, live stream, video recording, and Photoshop, as well as variety shows. Every set that is shown in the MV is utilized to describe as one of those things that I just mentioned. And I can say, I like this MV as it focuses on the dance. The group dance is one of the main things that you must show inside the MV. Although in the past we have talked a lot of MV, a lot of single shot, a lot of scenery shots inside this kind of group, girl group, are very nice, but focusing on the girl group itself and their dance is rarely seen, and it is more than the solo parts that are in the MV, where I can say it is quite close where it can be called a balance, because the number of members' solo parts are shown in there not less, if the feelings of not less than the group dance parts, which I do say it is not out of place. Good edit to the team, and it looks so well. The color, the contrast, I like it. But overall, I will say first, it is a well done MV, but it does lack the wow factor. The wow factor where it keeps viewers like me from viewing it for a long span of time. It means without any distraction, without any thinking of doing other things but to watch it. That is what I'm saying. Why I can say this is because this is just released few hours ago, and I tried to watch it for the first time. I realized that I was actually looking at my phone after basically the first minute. I love the song sounds good, but the MV does not attract me to watch it. It's a well done in a point of view where the edit, the contrast, the color, I love it. But it's missing that wow factor that usually MV must have. Like you imagine for BTS, what's the wow factor for Dynamite? Dynamite itself, it sounds very very catchy that you will wonder how the MV goes. For this song, it is as good as the song is without the MV. It does not need the support of the MV. For another example that I can put in is IU. IU's 8 is one of the songs where the song itself is a well that it does not need the MV. But since the MV is made in animation, drawing wise, as well as some parts the mix, you have the attention to watch it. If I wanted to bring into another point of view, maybe something much more simple, will be as of recently, I think I should be saying Lovelies. Lovelies itself is another MV. It brings out a point where you actually, when you watch the MV, you will pay attention to it. The reason why you pay attention to the MV is because it looks so different. It looks so nice. You want to keep your eyes on it. And not to forget CLC helicopter as well. That aesthetic is so good. While for this, yes, they focus on the dance. The dance is good. However, I do not have the attention to actually watch it from where I am. because there isn't a point, or should I say a wow point, a attention where I need to view on. Basically, they dance. Might as well I wait for their dance practice video to come out. So the MV wise, although it's well done, I don't really think it has the wow factor. And this may be the first step of their failure to get their first music win as well. I'm very scared of that happening because 4Miss9 is actually one of the girl group that's in my list, and I'm still hoping at least they get their first win. They have potentials, but sometimes the entertainment companies are the reason why these kind of things happen. Marketing, bad marketing, I do not know what to say. With that, I'll end here, and I'd like to say the top 3 rankings for these top 3 songs that we have for today. I would say the first place for sure will go to Stray Kids Backdoor. Alright, Stray Kids Backdoor. Like I say, this is a generic boy group sound with its own charm. It can different itself. Although I won't say much, there is a few parts of the song by lyrics and by songs, as well as the MV. It brings out the charm to it. So I dare to put it in first place because it sounds good and it looks good. Second place, I will give to actually Moonbin and SanHa. Why I say Bad Idea is actually that well is because Bad Idea, if we compare with the third place for Miss Feel Good, in MV wise, Bad Idea actually does well. And in song wise, both are quite similar, almost ranking. In the end, because of the MV, yeah, you should understand what I'm saying by now, right? So these 3 songs, although these 3 songs that I have already selected from so many songs, I'm listening to multiple songs, some just debuted. Why they select these 3 is because I find that these 3 songs sounds good. It's one of the main thing when I select for songs. Because as of recently now, we do know that we have a lot of comeback, and I'm looking forward to October. There are more comebacks coming soon. Next week as well, I have something as well that I look forward to. So do stay tuned for a teaser at the end. Right now, we have our ranking. Let's move on to our main dish topic. Okay, for our first main dish topic is Mama 2020. What the frick is this about? It's basically Mnet Asia Music Award 2020 had been confirmed to be planned. Despite COVID-19 is going on, but it had been planned to be held in Korea, where basically Mama had been held overseas in multiple places, but this time it will be held in Korea. Timing, venue, and details how to proceed are currently still in discussion, so nothing had been decided yet, but it has been confirmed to be planned. Give you guys a little bit of what is this about. Mama began as a Mnet's Video Music Award since 1999, and after that it changed to Mnet Asia Music Award in 2009. Since 2010, the award ceremony was done overseas, example in Macau, Hong Kong, Singapore, Vietnam, and Japan. Doing it back in Korea, locally in Korea, is, well, I don't see a bad thing happening, but due to the pandemic, this is going to be difficult. Especially as some of you guys should know by now, a phase 2 of basically this pandemic is happening in Korea, and multiple variety shows had to stop their shooting due to it. And talking about variety shows, if I need to recommend to you guys some of the variety shows that I watched recently, and well, this is just an additional for you guys. If you guys feel like you guys watch it, well, good. If you guys don't watch it, I don't say anything. One of it is actually Begin Again 4. This is one of the one that I've been watching recently. It's so good for me. It's relaxing. They sang so many songs, they cover so many songs. So you have a chance, give it a chance. don't feel too bad because reality shows sometimes may get bored, but at the same time, it has its charm to it, like I say. Another one that I'd like to recommend is Hometown Flex. This is for those of you who love to travel and want to travel back to Korea and wish to know a little bit about the regions in Korea. As you may not know, the first time you travel, you may be in Seoul. The second time you travel, you may be in Busan. But have you ever think, where else can I travel? Or what can I do at there? Is there any special place to do at there? Is there any special things to eat at there? This give you a little bit of the scene, a lot of, or maybe I should say, some of the artists appear on this are local there, and you may want to understand what they have at there, or maybe what your artists used to eat during their childhood or where they went to. This is some quite special to it. And lastly, the famous Running Man. So far, Running Man, I will say that it can get bored on some episodes, but the team has done a very, very good job to retain the show in a similar concept as usual, but indoor. Although they have done a lot of times, but making it differently every single time is very, very hard, especially for a show that had been going on for so long. Alright, so with that, I'm just giving you a little bit of suggestion of what to watch if you have time. So moving on to our next news, which is an unexpected collaboration. This is short. This is a collaboration between a Danish musician, Christopher, with Chungha. This pairing, they will be releasing a new single, and this is a duet. One of a duet that's released under Warner Music Korea. So in the case that if you guys are waiting for this, do look forward to it. It is going to release soon. If I remember correctly, the single will be released on the 23rd of September. So if everything goes well, it sounds good, why not I cover this song, since we have been covering English songs for the past 2 episodes. Why not? Let's do that. We have Chungha in there, and I look forward to this. And lastly, a heartwarming advice from an idol. Wow, this is a very heartwarming, and we are talking about who? We are talking about Stray Kids Banchan. Banchan actually gave an advice to fans when fans actually asked him give advice about dealing with self-harm. His answer is basically, don't hurt yourself. He has already discussed with how many people have stressed and gone through difficult times, but self-harming is not a healthy way to deal with this. He also stated that you never know what may happen in the future. If something bad transpires, you may feel regret for your past choice. This is something I really, really pay attention to. For those of you out there, and for those of you who actually have this kind of thoughts, like how I mentioned for bad idea just now, do remember, you're not alone. Don't think of these kind of things, especially self-harm is one of the worst, because when you start to do self-harm, is one of the symptoms that you're going into pre-depression, to put in simple terms. But I'd like to say, since you're on this, Banchan did say that there are alternative relief stress that are much more healthier. It's much more healthier to relieve stress. And the easiest way that he actually mentioned, come here, look for me, ask me, talk with me. That is one of the heartwarming words from Banchan. And not only him, we have multiple idols talking about this. We have SanHa, we have Jisoo, we have Jennie, we have Lisa. All of them have faced before basically bad comments, hate comments from fans. Either you're fans, you're sussing fans, you're a hater. Everyone have left a bad comments on them before, and they are human. They read it before. to be honest, they are from entertainment company and they have consultant for this kind of things. It means mental consultants I'm talking about. For us, who can we look forward to? Of course, we will look forward to our idols. And to those of you out there who usually like to say, you're wasting your time looking at the screen. You're looking at girls that are far away, looking at boy groups that are far away. They will never come reality. You're wasting your money to going for concerts that just watching them, listening to them dancing, which you can just pay maybe a little bit of money or just go to a cafe to watch this. There is no fun to this. But have you ever wondered, the only reason that you are doing this is because you do not want to go to a stage of doing self-harm? This is how you relieve your stress. You spend a lot of money because you love them. You spend a lot of money, you're wasting your time because you're enjoying yourself. They bring relief to your life. Those kind of things that are sometimes cannot be seen by non-K-pop fans. As for me, I do say I have a period where I stopped being a K-pop fan, to be honest. Maybe in future I talk about this. But during that time, I can see a lot of things differently. When you're not a K-pop fan, you do not need to think a lot of things. And yes, there are a lot of ways to actually relieve your stress. But as a human being, as a person with their own personality, you will actually choose the way you want to do it. And the way that you, as a listeners, as a K-pop fan, and me, we choose K-pop as the way to relieve it. So my questions to everyone out there who are listening to this, and you in the past or in the future or currently, you have judgment regarding to this, a fan or not a fan, regards to other people, maybe you're saying that group is bad. Why are you standing that group? When I'm saying standing is basically why are you shipping that group? Why you love that group? Why so? So as a fan or not a fan, I'll just say this. Think to yourself, you're doing the same thing as that person. They may be thinking as you why you're standing this group. They may not think that the group you stand is actually good. And I'm looking at a point of view where you're just a fan on maybe a small group, not something a big group like Stray Kids, not something like Twice, BTS, those small groups only. Or basically someone who just debuted. Why so do you like them? Maybe because you found the relief that you need from them. This is specifically for everyone. So think twice before you actually say anything or basically leave a bad comments regarding to this, that, or whatever. Think twice when you do stuff. That's how I'll end this show today. Think twice before you say anything or post anything. That's as much as I'll say. Before we end this show, I just like to say, do remember to actually like this video and subscribe to our channel if you're watching from YouTube. Follow us on any of our podcast platform. And for the next episode, we have a group that rhymes with the word glow, to be sure. With that, I'll end this show today with our last word. Annyeong!